2 of the 30 Green Radio Show, presented by Davis Air Conditioning and Heating, home of the Fixed Right Guarantee, by Carrier Air Conditioning and Heating Systems, turn the experts, and by Water Furnished Geothermal. They're better from the ground up. Our mission, cut your energy costs by 30%, at least 30%. We've got 30 ideas for you, 30 steps to cut your energy costs by 30%. You can download your free copy online at 30green.com. Gary Parr has been talking about cutting air conditioning costs for years. He's Mr. Cool, our air conditioning and heating specialist. That's half your energy bill. Hi, I'm Dennis Celsor, 30 Green's energy efficiency specialist, because the rest of your house is the other half of your energy bills. If you want quality advice now on how to fix energy problems in your home, pick up the phone, give us a call right now, 281-558-5738. The news this week, Gary, Doss House is in Houston. We're broadcasting live today from the site of the 2011 Doss House Tour in downtown Houston near the Green Building Resource Center. It's an exhibition of German cutting-edge technology. It'll be open today until 6 o'clock, so you've got about 3 or more hours to come on down and take a tour of the Doss House. You can find more information online at DossHouseTour.com.
Gary Parr here with Dennis Celsor, and we are broadcasting live today from the Doss House, DASHAUS, and that's DossHouseTour.com if you'd like to get more information. We will be here. The Doss House Tour is open until 6 o'clock today. We'll be broadcasting until 4 o'clock today, but we welcome you to come by and visit with us. We'd love to have you. If you're in the neighborhood, drop by and say hi. 1002 Washington Avenue. Plug that in the GPS and come by.
Well, Gary, has a little bit of background. Every other year, the U.S. Department of Energy sponsors the Solar Decathlon. In the first and second decathlons of 2007 and 2009, the Technical University of Darmstadt, Germany, steamrolled the other 19 universities with back-to-back first-place entries.
Wow.
You could say they cleaned our clock.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? God,
All
we
right.
need to get a little better at that.
That's absolutely. Well, the Solar Decathlon is an international solar house competition in which 20 collegiate teams design, build, and operate solar-powered houses that are cost-effective, energy-efficient, and attractive. Well, the centerpiece of this tour is the Doss House Pavilion. It's a traveling demonstration of advanced technologies from Germany as applied to home construction and solar energy use. Now, Gary, this is not your typical one-story Texas ranch home. So tell us what's your perspective. What were your reactions when you first saw it?
Yeah, it's very interesting because when I first drove up, I said, that really doesn't look like a ranch house that I am normally seeing out in Magnolia somewhere, right?
Right.
So, but no, it's they've designed this pavilion with the energy efficient products and items in here where you can actually take a little tour through this, and they've got all the different things. And, you know, some of the very interesting things that I saw initially when I walked up was I saw these louvers on the windows, and I thought, I know what they're doing with those louvers on the windows. But what's really cool about those louvers is they open and close, and they are part of the architecture, which I think that's really important. You know, you're trying to incorporate very efficient products and do different things to incorporate this into a home, but you need to make that home look like it architecturally is pleasing. So that was one of the things, I think. And then Meredith Marsh, which I want to go ahead and bring her into the conversation here. Meredith, welcome to the 30 Green Radio Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
And she is the project coordinator, correct, for the project here on the Doss House. Okay, and so she was my tour guide when I first got here, okay? And I said, Meredith, okay, take me on a tour, show me around, and she did. We're going to have her actually take our listeners today on the same tour that I experienced as well the other day. So, and doing that, one of the things that she told me, or actually asked her, is I said, you know, I'm wondering if you get different questions, because this is a tour. You're not only in the Houston area, but you're touring how many cities?
It'll be 12 different cities through the end of next year, actually.
Wow, so 12 different cities. And Canada
and
the U.S.
North American tour, U.S. and Canada. And right, I mean, as you mentioned, a variety of different geographic regions, climate regions.
Right.
And sort of a lot of different strategies put together to address those different situations.
Yeah, so Dennis, I asked her, I said, so do you get the question, okay? We're in a climate here, humidity. Okay?
Are you trying to make a point, Gary?
I was trying to make a point. And then you've got this opposite climate when we go in a northern climate where we're trying to keep the heat in, and Germany is in that climate as well. So your answer was in regards to that.
Yeah, so you brought up a great point, Gary, and And I would say that a lot of the technologies that we have here in the pavilion, they address a variety of different climate regions, and we're looking at insulation products that are, a well-insulated home is not only going to keep the heat in winter, but is also going to make sure that when you're running the air conditioning in the summertime that you're keeping that air in as well. And actually the heating, cooling, climate control system that we have here in the pavilion, we do have a room that you can actually go into and sort of feel this. It's a heat recovery ventilation system, which, in case those out there aren't as familiar with that, basically how it works is that it's bringing in fresh air. It's a super insulated room, so you want to make sure that you're getting the fresh air in, so that the indoor air quality, not degrading. Basically, we're bringing in fresh air, exhausting the old air, and but we're making sure that when we're exhausting the old air, that all the energy that we put into cooling the air or heating the air, whichever the outdoor the conditions might be, that we're not throwing that back outside. We're not wasting that. So we're actually recapturing that energy, which is going to reduce the overall load on the system and reduce the energy costs as well. And then you were bringing up the great point of, okay, well, in a climate like in Houston where we're dealing with the water content in the air, which is actually putting a big strain on the systems, these heat recovery ventilation systems like the one we have here too can also be equipped to be handling the water content as well. So there's a variety of different systems, but there's a lot of options out there for depending on your specific situation.
Okay, Dennis, before you start, because I know you have a lot of questions about this as well, before you start, I want to give out the phone number. It's the official green line here, the green line, 281-558-5738. You may have a question. Maybe you can't get down today, but you have a question. You want to learn a little bit more about it, so you can come down next week. And I know you guys have a lot of different events this next week. We'll talk about that. But if you'd like to learn more, you can give us a call now, and we'll put Meredith Marsh on the phone with you, and she can answer your questions, 281-558-5738.
So, Meredith, tell us a little bit about next week. You're open until 6 today. You're closed tomorrow. But then Monday through Thursday this week, tell us about the hours you're open.
All right. So Monday through Thursday, right, we're going to be open 10 to 6 o'clock every day. And as you mentioned, Building Resource Center for the City of Houston. That's at the new permitting center, actually, which I've had a chance to check out since I've been here. And that's a retrofit of a building from the 1930s that is actually on track to be getting LEED Gold status. So they've got a lot of great resources in there as well. You can check out the building as well as the Green Building Resource Center. And a lot of these techniques and technologies we've got here in the pavilion, they've got even more in there. They've got several rooms dedicated to it. So if you really want to see how this stuff works, get your hands on it, find out about it, it's free and open to the public, just like we are here down at Das Haus. So you can definitely stop by.
So you said this is set up to be LEED Gold, leadership in environmental and efficient design.
Exactly.
Okay. And so this is a system where you could generally works more in commercial buildings. It's used a lot in commercial buildings to show how efficient they are in the design of the building. This is something we're seeing a lot more in commercial ones. So City of Houston is being proactive. They're stepping out to create something that will be more efficient and be a better building for the future. A lot of fun things to see here. I've just got to ask a question. Why would one of our listeners want to come down and see this? What are some of the different things that you would see here that you would not see in a typical display?
Sure. Well, the pavilion's actually really great in that it is a completely open and really accessible way to check some of the stuff out. So for the North American tour, we are reaching out to the architecture, engineering communities, building communities, but for a homeowner or somewhere else as well who's interested in what these systems look like, you're not as familiar as looking in plan and section, building drawings. We've got a variety of different insulation systems that are actually shown in full-size walls that are actually just small wall sections, so you can actually see a cross-section of that, get a feel for how all the materials work together. Maybe you've seen a product in the store and you're not really sure how that fits into a wall or where that comes into play. And as we mentioned earlier, we've also, on the renewable energy side, we've got a variety of different solar panels on the house that are generating electricity for us here today. We're running off the solar power. And we've actually got a sort of behind-the-scenes look, too. We've got the inverters, the batteries, the charger systems that we can open up and show to you as well. So, if you're trying to, maybe you've seen some of the solar panels around town, but you don't really know how that equates into energy for your home. we can show you that system. And actually, it's pretty remarkable. It takes up a relatively small amount of space. So a lot of people, I think, could be pretty surprised to see that.
We're going to come back and talk about the solar just a little bit more because you got a lot of fascinating things to see here. One of the things I forgot, we were talking about next week, some of the events. You've got an event coming up on Tuesday our listeners need to hear about. Tell us about it.
So definitely. This Tuesday, November 15th, starting at registration will start at 8:30 in the morning, but we're going to get kicked off at 9 a.m. We've got a half-day conference, which, like all the events for the House, are free and open to the public. It's called the Net Zero House, Innovation in Renewables and Energy Efficiency. And that's going to be held right here at the Houston Permitting Center, 1002 Washington Avenue. And basically, we're going to have a lot of folks in from out of town and also from right here in Houston. And they're going to be talking about some current projects right now, some really cutting-edge projects that are going on around the country, looking at really energy-efficient buildings. We're going to have a couple representatives out from the Bullitt Center, which is located in Seattle, Washington. So they're going to be coming down to meet with us. And that is the greenest commercial building in the world.
Now, they're claiming it's the greenest.
They're
claiming it's
the
under,
I believe it's in
building.
design, under construction right now.
Okay. So, Gary, you've made presentations at Green Building Resource Center. There's a lot to see there.
There is a lot to see there. Of course, 30 Green is there as well. There's some information about the radio show in the Green Building Resource Center there, thanks to Steve Celsor. And Steve Celsor is a program director here at the Green Building Resource Center, and we appreciate all of his help and everything. And he actually, if you bring plans in, he will actually take a look at those plans for you and give you ideas, and that's free of charge. So that's a great program that Steve offers.
He's a licensed architect.
Yes.
So he's got a deep background in energy efficiency. So he's able to cover a lot of territory, but he does it from a professional background because he's a licensed architect and had a heavy interest in this for years. So this is next Tuesday. What are the hours on the Net Zero Conference?
So the Net Zero Conference is going to kick off at 9 o'clock in the morning, but you should probably get there a little bit earlier. We're going to open up at 8:30 for registration. And then we're going to wrap up with some lunch afterwards, and there's also going to be a guided tour. I'll be giving tours of the house in case you'd like to come down and see it then. When we're open 10 to 6 during the week, we've got myself and some of my assistant docents here on staff that we're at the house. So anytime you'd like, you can come on down and we can show you the pavilion.
And what does it cost for the Net Zero Conference?
It is no cost. Free.
Net Zero.
There you go. Free and open to the public.
Meredith Marsh, she is the program director for the DOS here that we're broadcasting from today at the Green Building Resource Center here in the parking lot here at 1002 Washington Avenue. You were just talking about assistance in touring, and a couple here now are 2 or 3 people, and they're actually in the room at the moment, which they can't hear us in that room because that room is just super silent.
Yep, and we can't hear them.
We can't hear them.
That's,
so if you'd like to come down and take that tour, Meredith and her assistant here will be here until 6 o'clock today, and they'll be closed tomorrow, but you're welcome to come down from 10 to 6, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week, okay?
And Thursday.
And Thursday. So through the 17th, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's to the 17th of November. And then the tour moves on, and I think you go to another city somewhere in January then, don't you?
Yep. In January, we will be in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, but you need to catch it here unless you're going to have to fly to Phoenix.
Unless you're going to be in Phoenix in January.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. We are broadcasting live from 1002 Washington Avenue at the DOS House. If you want to get more information about the DOS House, it's DOS, DASHAUS tour.com. And we're in the parking lot here. We'd love to see you come down and visit with us. What a great day today. If you're in the downtown Houston area, drop by, say hello. We'll be broadcasting until 4 o'clock today, and Meredith Marsh and her assistant will be here until 6 o'clock giving tours. So come down, take the tour. It's a great facility here on the 30 Green Radio Show on KSEV, and we'll be back in a minute.